y'all, it's Sarah, the Urban Cowgirl, and welcome to our YouTube channel. We've been teasing it for a long time. The cookbook finally came out, and now I'm so happy to welcome you to our very first video. Today we're gonna do one of our most popular recipes. It's the Jalapeno Cinnamon Rolls with brown butter frosting. Everyone always freaks out when they hear jalapeno cinnamon rolls, but I promise these are amazing. They're not really spicy, they're more infused with a jalapeno flavor, and they have this ridiculous brown butter frosting, which is an old pastry secret. I'm gonna show you today. It's something the best bake shops use, and it's really easy. So let's get started with making the dough. Okay guys, so I'm going to be doing the dough in my standing mixer with the hook attachment. Now you don't have to have one of these. You could use your hand, you could use one of those hand mixers, or if you have a bread machine, that would also be a good choice. You'll just use the manufacturer's instructions. So the dough is going to start with 1 cup of milk and 1 stick of butter. We're going to take this and we are going to microwave it until it is warm. Okay, so here is our milk and our butter. It's very hot, so I'm just gonna let it cool while we assemble our dry ingredients, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into the bowl of my mixer. So we're gonna go ahead and add 4½ cups of flour into a bowl. Now we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm just gonna give it a stir. So now that we have our dry ingredients done, we're gonna move back over to the wet ingredients. The milk and butter is just warm to the touch, so now I can add some yeast. This is just a package of instant yeast. Sometimes these are called bread machine yeast. And to that, I'm gonna add an egg. And ½ cup of sugar. Okay, so then we're gonna use these diced jalapeno peppers. You just wanna get them really, really small. And we'll just go right in. Now that it's all in here, we're just gonna turn it on. Now we're gonna start to add the flour, about a cup at a time. You can add a couple cups in, let it get kind of mixed in, and then see where you're at. Because the thing about dough is it's not always the exact measurement that you need. You just gotta kind of look at it by sight, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Continue until it begins to pull away from the sides and looks like a perfect ball shape. I've just got any sort of a bowl here. I'm gonna spray it so that the dough won't stick. And we're just going to take the dough out and let it rest. God, I love dough. Dough is my favorite. I think I like dough because it's alive. I like dogs and cats, so dough is also like a pet. Okay, so here's our dough. We are gonna cover this with a tea towel or some saran wrap. We're gonna put it in a warm place in the kitchen. You can put it in your oven, not turned on of course, just in there wherever it's warm, and it'll give it a chance to rise without being disturbed. Okay, so here's one that I've already started. This has already had a chance to rise. And you can see it's about doubled in size. More importantly, it's created a lot of air, so now the dough is gonna be super easy to work with. So we'll just flour out the workspace as we do. And we'll take our dough out. Flour our rolling pin. Now we want to make a rectangle. This dough is really soft, really easy to work with. And you can kind of smell jalapenos a little bit. So this is absolutely perfect dough. Okay, so I've got a stick of butter here. It's easiest to work with butter that that's been softened, but if not, you can just put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds. And we're just going to smear that all over it. Leave a little bit out here clean because that's how we're gonna seal the jelly roll. So you just wanna smear it all the way out to the edges. And I've used almost half a stick. It's about 1/3 a stick. Okay, so then we're gonna take brown sugar and we're gonna sprinkle this on really generously. And you can just be super generous because what actually happens is the butter melts with the brown sugar and it makes this like wonderful caramelized sugar sauce. Now we're gonna sprinkle on a good bit of cinnamon. You can use whatever cinnamon you like. Okay, that's really good. We're gonna take this now and we're gonna roll it up like a jelly roll. So you just peel up this side closest to you and pinch it over. And just kind of roll it as tight as you can. Oh my God, it smells so good. Okay, so you have a little log to work with. Now you can cook this in a baking dish if you like, but I really like the look of it in a cast iron skillet. And all we need to do is grease this up, and then we're gonna cut these and put them in. So a little spray or butter. This is my coconut oil spray that I'm obsessed with. This is a dough cutter. You could also use a knife. And the best trick that I've ever learned about cutting cinnamon rolls is instead of starting at the end and trying to guess how many you're gonna get, just keep cutting the dough in half. So first we'll cut it down the middle, and then we're gonna cut this side in half and this side in half. Then we'll cut it again. These are gonna be big, fluffy cinnamon rolls. Okay, there we go. Take our pan here, and we'll just start in the middle. They're gonna be too small to fill the pan, but that's okay because we're gonna give them a second rise, and then they're really gonna fill the pan up. Okay, now we're gonna put our tea towel cloth over the cinnamon rolls again, and we're gonna give them another rise. If you are going to do this in the morning, you can actually let these rise, put them in the refrigerator, and then when you wake up, they'll be ready for you. So this is what they look like when they come out. They really filled up that pan. They got a little bit bigger. And now we're just gonna bake these in a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, if you use the cast iron, you're probably gonna need an extra 5 minutes just because that pan absorbs a lot of heat. Okay, so this is the icing that I promised you. Now, this icing is a brown butter icing or frosting, whatever you call it. We're gonna start off with a cup of butter, and we're just gonna add that to our pan and turn it up to a medium-high heat. And all of those solids are gonna begin to separate from the butter, and they're gonna create little brown flecks. They're actually roasting and toasting up. This is gonna take 5 or 6 minutes. And as soon as you smell that nutty aroma in the air, you know that you're ready to go ahead and pull it off the heat and start the icing. And now we're just gonna add 2 cups of powdered sugar. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of vanilla to give it, you know, that whisper of vanilla flavor. And a little bit of salt. I know it sounds weird to put salt into baked goods or even in the icing, but all of those flavors really come out with just a little bit of salt. So then we'll just whisk it. Now that we've incorporated all that, we're just gonna add a little bit of milk to thin it out and stir it all up. Okay, now we're gonna get them out of the oven. Let's see what they look like. Oh dear Lord, they're amazing. There we go. So they're brown, they're toasted. Like I said, some of that brown sugar and butter has mixed, and it's kind of weeping out that delicious caramelized sugar. And I have our icing here that we made. So let's ice them. Totally delicious. Now it's time to plate them up and taste one. Let's taste it. I'm so excited to taste this. I've never been more excited of anything in my life. Okay. Da-da-da. They're really gooey in the inside too. I love my life. I love my job. So, the best part is that the jalapeno flavor is really mild. It's really infused into the dough. So it gives you a little bit of that Southwestern flair, but it's not overwhelming. You could totally give this to a kid. My 4-year-old has thrown back these things. These are totally his jam. Awesome. Okay guys, you gotta make this recipe. You wanna be the cool aunt or the cool dad making jalapeno cinnamon rolls. You'll have a story to tell the rest of the family. Now, we're new to YouTube, but we are not new to the food world. You're gonna be able to get all of these recipes on our blog, which I will link below. also link all the social media so you can follow us. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to be here weekly, and we will see you soon. Have a great day.